Hello and welcome to another video of WASD Gaming Warehouse. Today I will be introducing the simple Unity interface. So without further ado, let's get on to it. As you can already see, I have opened up my recent project called tutorial.unity. So if we move on to the top section, we have restore, minimize, close, and the others are not accessible or clickable as we are not like that. So if we just minimize this like that, and we click on this, then we can maximize and minimize too, and we can also move and size it out. So we can size it and we can enlarge it. If we move a bit higher, we have Unity, tutorial.unity, new Unity project 3, PC, Mac and Linux standalone. That basically means that it's for PC, Mac and Linux. If we move a bit further down, we have, hold on guys, we have file, edit, assets, game object, component, terrain, window and help. If we just go to file, we can create a new scene, open a scene, save scene as. We can open a new project, or we can create a new project. We can save project, we can build, we can go to the build settings and we can build and run our game. Obviously we can also exit the whole Unity game engine. If you go to the edit tab, we have undo, selection, change, redo, cut, copy, paste, delete, duplicate, frame selected, find, select all, preferences, play, pause and step, load selection, save selections, project settings, render settings, graphics emulation and network emulation. We also have snap settings over here. If we go to the assets menu, we have create, we can create a new folder and all that. We can show it in an explorer, open or delete, import new asset, import package, export package, find references in scene, select dependencies, refresh, re-import all and sync monodevelop project. Just to tell you guys, if you want to import your own package, just click on import new package in the assets menu and then find your asset. For example, if it was this, then I would click on import. If you would like to import an asset from the asset store or from the Unity asset store, go to help, welcome screen and click on Unity asset store. Then you will be redirected to the Unity asset store. When we move on to game object, we can create a game empty object, which will be most probably our spawn point and other things that we would like to make it. If you go to create other, we can make a particle system, camera, GUI text or GUI text, GUI texture or GUI texture, 3D text, directional light, point light, spotlight, area light, cube, sphere, capsule, cylinder, plane, cloth, audio, reverb, zones, ragdoll, tree, and wind zone. If you move a bit further down, we have center on children, make parent, clear parent. That obviously means parents in Unity. That means the different types of components. Apply changes to prefab, break prefab instance, make to view, align with view, align view to select it. If we move onwards, we have component, we have add, but we haven't got any component that we need to add yet. We have mesh, effect, physics, navigation, audio, rendering, miscellaneous, scripts, character, and camera control. None of those are available for us to click, as you can see, because we have not clicked anything in the hierarchy. If we click this random looking object that I have imported just for the purpose of this video, we can see exactly what these objects are. So now everything is available for us. So the most popular thing that we're going to be using is physics. We can add a physics like this. We're going to be using rigid body very often. In the next tutorial, you can see how we will be using rigid body. We can go to component, as we have already went there. If you would like to add it for yourself in an experiment, please go to component. If you would like to create a terrain like this one, as you can see there's already a terrain over here, then you would need to go to terrain, create terrain, and then basically you can draw on your mountains and your hills. if I would just reset that back to how it was, so then I would not need to redo my whole thing again. You could import height map from the internet, export height map, and set resolution. You could also mass place trees. That means you could put a large quantity of trees with just a click of a button like this. So it's by default 10,000 trees, but you can change it obviously by changing the value. You can flatten the height map and refresh tree and detail prototypes. If you move on, we have window, next window, previous window layout. We can change the layout of this. So I'm just gonna save this layout to show you guys what this is. So then it brings up this window that we have here. So let's just save this as WASD Gaming Warehouse lay. That's my shortcut for layout. Just press save and then it will save your layout. As you can see, it says WASD Gaming Warehouse. So if we move on, we have WASD Gaming Warehouse, LYT, that's for layout, over here. Feel free to create your own layout. To create your own layout, just basically drag and drop this to your customizations. I will be showing that in further on in this video. We can go to window and we can go to our scene easily and go to the other things in our thing. You could also go to the assets store by clicking Control 9. Let's go back to terrain and window, and we can go to light mapping, occultation, coloring, navigation, and console. Console is where you can see all your different things. If you go to help, you can check about Unity. So this, I have the version 4.1.2. I will upgrade it to 4.1.5, and these are the different people who have created it. Thanks to these people, we luckily have Unity. Also, we have Unity MonoDevelop, so that's the MonoDevelop, and we have PhysX by NVIDIA. So that's the physics powered by PhysX. And if we just close that, we can see the other ones. We can manage the license. We have the free license, of course, and we could also activate the license and all that. We could go to the Unity manual, as it will bring up all the things about Unity. It will bring up your web page, which will come. If we close this, then we can go and check the other stuff. We have reference manual, scripting reference. We can check how to script, I think. So script reference, yes, like this. So you can see the scripting overview, update, fixed update, code outside any function. For any updates on this, please email us or put comments in the comment section, so we will get onto you. We will also put tutorials on scripting. You can go to the Unity forum, Unity answers, Unity feedback, and also you can access all it from here. You can also watch tutorials from there, but you can watch all our tutorials to get an awesome view of Unity. You could also get release notes, and you could also report a bug, which is not recommended because Unity does not have any bugs in my instance. If we move on, we have these 4 tools. If we just click our right mouse button, then we unveil another tool that is called rotate wheel. Rotate wheel basically moves around our object, and as so. To activate rotate wheel, just use the right mouse button on your mouse and then just drag and put it wherever you want. Also, another way of doing it is by holding Control and using the same option. You could hold down Alt and then just use the left mouse button easily. So as so. So we have, if I just give you an overview of what this is, we have the pan tool, as you can see. We have the move tool, as you can see. You can move the water. Actually, I can move my untitled thing, so I just unselect that. Yes, we can rotate our things like that, as you can see in the game object, game view. I'll just switch off stats here. You guys can see that the object is moving, as you can see, like that. So like that, yeah. So the object over here is a very basic object because I did not have time to create any other object. We can also scale this object, so if you would like to make it bigger, just hold on this big option, the white option, and then make it bigger. As so, if you would like to make certain sides of this bigger, just drag and drop these X, Y, and Z axes to your heart's content. So I'm just gonna move this like that. Now I'll just delete my untitled thing. Actually, I just deleted my water there. Okay, I'll just get my water back. Hopefully it should come. Yes, now we have our water. We'll just delete the untitled. Now, if I already told you guys how to get the rotate view tool, so let's move on to the next one. If we click on this option, then we have pivot and center. By default, it is pivot, but you can put it on center. I'm going to keep it on pivot to keep the pivot thing. Also, the X, Y, and Z axis, you could put it to global and local. I put it to global so it's easier for me to use personally. Also, you could put it to local. If you move onwards, we have the play, pause, and step tool. So if I just play this, and as you can see, the game plays like it is normally going to play in this section. We could put it to play or make it bigger. So we could put it to maximize on play, and every time it recognizes that we are playing the game, it'll play it in full screen mode. So I in my first person controller, it was like that for default. So let's just exit this and let's see what other things we have. We have layers. Obviously we can see everything, so we can just put it to everything and ignore the nothing option. The layout, we have 2x3 and all that. So I have it by WASD Gaming Warehouse LTL something. So obviously if you want to make this to your customizations, just drag and drop in any one of these kind of lever things, so then you can make it to your heart's content. Obviously you could also do it like this, but I like it to put in an equal thing so I can see both everything that I'm doing. I have put my animation box over here because I'm not going to be using animation very often in my game that I am developing currently, but I will have a tutorial on animating on Unity. So if I just try to put this animation box back there, it'll work. Okay, so next thing I want to talk to you guys is the different options in the scene. So yes, we can change it to wireframe, text, rendered paths, light map resolution, and all that. So let's just keep it back to textured, as I can see on my colorful different drawings. We can go to RGB and check the alpha, overdrive, and minimaps. So we can obviously see the different things that we have, and as I have drawn, it'll show the different things. So let's just keep it back on RGB. Also, we can put it to default lighting and not non-default lighting. So this is default, like this is the built-in lighting. This is how this is the built-in lighting. This is how it'll look in real life. So I have put point lights, as you can see here, to make this realistic effect. Also, I have the grid option, as I will move out like this. As you can see, every time I click on this option, the grid moves out and in. Also, we have the speaker or the volume option to switch it on and off. You have gizmos, and we can also search for anything that we have. So we can search for anything, so like that. So if we search here, then if you search for first person controller, then it'll search up here too. So we'll just delete all that and let's go back. The next thing we have is hierarchy. This is where all our game objects will be stored, including the terrain, our lights, and our characters. I have put a first person controller as I didn't have time to put a third person controller or even model a character. So as you put more characters or any more models, you will have a scroll bar, as obviously noticed, and you can just scroll it. obviously you can search and you can create different things you want, such as a cube, etc. So as you can see, I have just created a cube. So delete that and let's go back to how the terrain looks. Now if we move on, we have our inspector. To activate inspector, if your inspector is like this currently, click on any one of your game objects. Then that will direct you to all these different settings. You might think, wow, this is really stuffed up. Well, I'm happy to say that it's not. As you can see, if I just click on my first controller and go to movement, as the name describes it, I can change the way it moves. I can change the max forward speed to 100, etc. Also, you can put decimal points in there to maximize different optimizations. So I can put it to 15.1 and it will go at 15.1. Also, we can lock these to lock our preferences. As you can see, this lock button is changing every time we click on it. And we could also put it into the normal and all that. We could also add a tab like this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add a profiler tab. As you can see, a profiler tab requires Unity Pro, and we will just close this tab. Then if we just, obviously you can do that with all these too. So add the tab in any one of these options. If you move downwards, I have the console. That's where all my errors come. Obviously I don't have any errors because I optimized all my games for no errors. That basically means that I have cleaned my game so then no errors come. That doesn't mean that you can like put your game to be no errors and you can like just give it to anyone. So you can clear the errors, but if your errors are not finished, finished, then it won't clear it. Obviously you can clear it on play. That means that every time you click this button, then the warnings that have been fixed will go. Next, we have project, where we have all our assets. So as you can see, I've imported many assets over here. So I can just click on these drop down arrows and then select my different assets. So I have this asset. I could just basically drag and drop this onto my scene as so. Then I could just scale it like that. And then I would have my perfect building over there. If you would like to get this asset, please email me or I will put a video in my next tutorial. As you can see, there's a land over there, a building. So I'll just delete the Vrak Budova, that means the building, and every time you click on something, it'll highlight it. That's the awesome thing about Unity. So if we move onwards, we have the game and the animation. Animation basically allows us to animate, and the game option allows us to see everything that looks like in the game. Basically that manages our whole thing, whole video. So if you have any comments, please put it in the comment section, and if you have any ideas or any videos requests, please email us at thegamingwarehouse.innovate@gmail.com. I will put that in the description. If you would like to get more videos from us, please subscribe to us, and obviously thanks for watching.